We are Revive Consulting. My name is Drew Strela. This is my colleague, Catherine Nixon. Today we're going to take you through our recommendations for the Pop Shop with the theme Resurrecting Canadian Retro. Our order of events tonight is a quick introduction followed by strategic issues, a quick situation analysis, upon which we'll base our evaluation criteria, provide a few alternatives, go through a recommendation with an implementation plan, as well as a conclusion. Here's Catherine with the introduction.
So a brief history is the Pop Shop started in 1969 in London, Ontario. It was a retail outlet that was franchised and only sold the pop in the retail outlet. The brand image was based on recycling because of their recycling program, the family and community values based on being involved in community events. They had a very impressive market share in Canada, but unfortunately due to a lack of convenience and competitive pricing, the franchise ended in 1982 with the introduction of private labels in grocery stores. Brian Alger bought the rights to the brand in 2003, but now the question is, what should he do next? So the strategic issues are, we're looking at target market, packaging and labeling, industry positioning, product distribution and promotion, and overall the main issue is what combination of decisions will lead to the most significant consumer and retail interest. Now on to Drew.
Alright, a quick situation analysis. Our strength is Brian does have that entrepreneurial spirit. However, with that, there is no industry experience and no previously formed relationships. We do have the opportunity of entering that specialty beverage niche with a smaller market share. And we could highlight the environmental conscious trend with our recycling program. We could also innovate new flavors, develop a social media presence, as well as e-commerce, and highlight the lipstick effect, which is affordable luxuries in times of recession. However, the threat is we are fighting for a position in that 10% market share, as the big four market substitutes do hold 90% market share. There is that increase in focus on health, as well as the regulations that may have changed since the brand had passed. The feasibility of startup is also a threat with the high bargaining power of buyers, as well as the production costs.
So quickly, here's our three alternatives we're going to evaluate. Open an independent retailer like they had in the past, establish a partnership with distribution agencies to get into the larger retails, or pitch to independent retailers independently, and local franchises that have similar values and try to gain brand awareness and grow that way. So now we'll go into the evaluation criteria we'll look at. Is it cost efficient? Is it time efficient? Does it appeal to the appropriate market? Is it able to gain retail interest? And does it stay true to the core competencies of the brand? Now, Drew will go into more detail.
Alright, our first alternative is to reopen that independent retail outlet. However, we believe this is costly and time consuming. However, we can embrace the nostalgia with a themed storefront that does appeal to our target market. We would like to offer a recycling program but not make it required. We could do so with having a coupon such as this where they do get, I guess, a savings if they do bring their recycling back to the Pop Shop. However, with that being said, we believe that there should be a secondary offering because the convenience just to go buy pop at a store isn't there. As can be seen by the chart, we have fulfilled 3 out of the 5 evaluation criteria. Our second alternative is to go through a distribution agency. We believe this is costly, but it does eliminate certain costs such as warehousing and retail relations, and it is a time-efficient way of gaining retail interest. We don't believe that retailers in this case would reflect the brand values that we want to portray. And also that there is no guarantee that a distribution agency will pick up our brand as they decide who they're willing to represent. As with the first alternative, it fulfills 3 out of the 5 evaluation criteria. Our third alternative is to go through local independent retailers as well as small franchises that are in London, Ontario, where the brand was established. We believe that this would be a more cost-efficient way because these are small companies that won't charge us big bucks to carry our brand. However, with no relationships, it may be hard to get that retail interest, but we are carefully selecting our outlets as to have brand values that coincide with our own. This alternative does fulfill 4 out of the 5, so we believe it is most appropriate to approach, and thus we have chosen
community event. We don't know how sustainable this market is, so as they are aging, so they can pass along their brand awareness to their kids, the new age retro target market. So these will be the Generation Y hipsters. A hipster is a subculture, and they reject a lot of social norms, and they do so frequently by embracing retro styles, shopping at vintage stores and thrift shops. These individuals are generally pursuing post-secondary education, as they are viewed as intellectuals. This is important because London is a university city with a lower average age than the national average. And so these people are opinion leaders for the generation, and they have a frequent consumption pattern, which is convenient. They're always out and about, socializing with friends. They're not too worried about their health at this point because they're still young, so they're drinking pop out of convenience quite frequently. Overall, our positioning statement is for Canadians with nostalgia for the 70s, or the generations who wish they could have been around for the 70s. The Pop Shop is the premium pop brand that is retro in a bottle, because only the Pop Shop has been originally Canadian since 1969. Now on to Truth.
Alright, so for our marketing plan, our product, we wanted to bring back the classic flavors such as root beer, black cherry, cream soda, and grape. However, we want to keep the popular flavors that have a high demand in today's market, which are cola, orange, and lemon lime. The packaging will be going back to the original glass stubby bottle to highlight that retro aspect. Through that Canadian maple leaf, we can highlight that it does have that Canadian appeal, and being originally Canadian since 1969 is one of our value-added aspects. Now on to pricing. We believe that it should be placed at $1.75, which is 25 cents above the premium pop average for Canada. However, with our value-added aspects of being retro and Canadian aspects, we believe consumers will appreciate that and go towards our product. Now we'll hand it off to Catherine to take you through our distribution as well as our promotion.
So for the place that we will retail the Pop Shop, we want to start with independent retailers and local market, but this would require some rebranding. This is just looking into the future. Now on to our next slide, promotions. We'd like to concentrate on social media and posters because they're both cost efficient. And then later, when it's more feasible, we can head up to billboards. So first I'll talk about posters, because we'd like to have our first round of posters which create hype and get everyone excited for the Pop Shop to come out. And then our second round of posters saying it is in stores, you can go get it now. We'd like to link this to social media by, during the hype phase, have the Pop Shop Days, most outrageous 70s photo competition on Facebook, where people can upload their funniest photo of them from the 70s and other users can vote on their favorite. The one with the most vote will be featured, or the ones, it could be more than one, will be featured in our second poster campaign, which is saying that the Pop Shop is now available. And then, so that creates, it adds to the hype and gets people more invested in it if their face is on the poster. Later, we'll have a Coast to Coast with the Pop Shop photo competition, which will be when we've expanded across Canada, and we'll tell people we are everywhere in Canada. And this will be people uploading pictures of them in their favorite Canadian location, doing their favorite Canadian activity with the Pop Shop. Again, users will vote on their favorite, and the favorite photo will win a year supply of the Pop Shop. It will be passing on their brand awareness to the second target market, their children. Our next slide contains some examples of what we would hope to get from our Coast to Coast photo competition. So just people, maybe in their everyday life, maybe doing something extremely Canadian with the Pop Shop to send the message that it's all across Canada now. Now on to Drew.
Alright, so our timeline for implementation, we've broken it into a 5-phase approach. The first phase being the hype creation. In February of 2013, we will bring out those bringing back retro posters just to create that buzz. March of 2013, the Pop Shop Days Most Outrageous 70s Photo Competition, as mentioned, will be introduced, which will bring us to our Phase 2 Setup Shop. In April of 2013, the In Stores Now posters featuring the winners of the competition will come out. Our first 4 flavors we feel necessary would be root beer, orange, cola, and lemon lime, due to their popularity within the community. As mentioned, niche retailers, Java Joe's, The Board Shop, and Primo Records would be our first places of distribution. Phase 3, we plan to expand coast to coast in April of 2014, with those larger retailers, Second Cup and Montana's. After which, these retailers do span all of Canada, bringing us to Western Canada with a stronger presence as that
interest. We went through Target Market, we talked about the 70s Nostalgia Group and the New Age Retro Group. We talked about packaging and labeling. We want to stick to the roots as much as possible with the stubby style, the glass bottles, and a similar logo but an extra Canadian touch. For industry positioning, we are going to position ourselves as a premium brand, and the value-added aspect will be that we are Canadian and retro. The product will have classic flavors, but we'll also have some modern favorites that are important. For distribution, we'll partner with independent retailers and Canadian franchises that share some of our brand values, and that the target market is frequent. For promotion, we want to use social media and posters to create hype and then later drive purchase decisions when the Pop Shop hits the shelves. So, thank you so much for your attention. Do you have any questions?
Your manufacturing, so you guys will be handling it all internally and producing your own manufacturing?
No, we found some companies that we could outsource that to that were in, I believe, Toronto was where we found them.
So you use a distribution strategy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we would have bottlers do that for us, and but we believe that the distribution should, we should focus on that to get to the retailers we want, because we do want those brand values to be instilled by not only us, but the people who are distributing our product as well.
You talked about the brand, and one of sort of the three main aspects of that being environmental consciousness. And I appreciate that that would have been